Sorry, I forgot to hit the record button. Keep going.
Okay, that's fine. Let me go back to, yeah. So this is where I am extremely encouraged by, because what I do plan to do with the support of collaborating organizations such as TMT is that a building or a set of buildings, really a campus of buildings to be constructed. And you have to have revenue for that. My intention is not to take any money from government or city or municipal agencies, because then you have strings attached, which require that you build to certain codes or observe certain politically correct requirements. But I do have apps that are now on App Store and Google Play that will provide a revenue source. And the daily ledger for cash flow 51075, 5101075, and I'm being very optimistic. I sell apps for $1.99 if I were to get 1 million downloads, and certain of these apps are being targeted to young people. There's 30 million young people in the US. So that is kind of the backbone of how I intend to do the funding. And at the same time, promote 5101075 as a viable tool to enable people to become financially empowered, whether they use business 5101075 or personal 5101075. Because what it does, it creates what I call reciprocity, intentionality, and churn. In other communities, whether it's the mainstream white community, Hispanic communities, or Chinese Asian communities, their money churns at least 4 times in their community. And how do I say that? Because for every dollar they spend, let's take the mainstream white community, when they spend $1, that 75 cents of their expenses is probably going to Caucasian-owned companies. When they donate to their charities, most of that goes to companies that consist of people that look like them. So I'm not doing anything or suggesting that we do anything that is out of the ordinary. This is actually what the mainstream societies do, but we have to be intentional about it, and we have to be reciprocal about it. So that way our money churns at least 4 times back in our community to achieve the building, whether it's virtual or brick and mortar, that needs to happen. So at this time I have revenue products. I have 3 apps that are now on Google Play and on App Store, with the exception of Photara, which is still in beta test. But I'm promoting these apps at $1.99. And at the very basic, these apps help encourage preparedness among our young people. They're practical apps that people can use to become more financially prepared. So that's the whole scope of 2 strategies. You have to have revenue products, and those revenue products, the revenue has to churn back into an ecosystem that provides money to pay people, to provide opportunities. So I know I've gone through most of this very quickly, but these are the drawings that I did over 15 years ago. And so I recently showed them to Tamisha, and she took the ball and went off running with it. So I'm very appreciative of her enthusiasm. I hope all of you do share the same enthusiasm, and I'm welcome to answering any questions as to how we get from 5101075 and a $1.99 app to being able to achieve this on such a large scale. It is possible, and it is doable, and it will be achievable. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Ms. Kelly. This is amazing because when we do work across the state of North Carolina, we go into rural communities, and we go into we just did the Buy, Fix, Up, Rebuild a Block with Dr. Elanugi, and we were in what was that, Moore County? And we were looking at these places. Raleigh is just amazing because it spends money in parks and recs. And so we are fortunate enough to have a city that actually supports parks and rec. So we don't see the deficit that other communities see. And so I'm looking at this plan and I'm thinking it's amazing. Because when we look at long-term TNT Youth Community Foundation and what we want to do with decentralizing television, we're going to need spaces like this. Not to mention my family has a bunch of acreages and they haven't built on it. They don't know what to do with it.
Well, this and this plan is just is a template. Once accomplished, it's a template for anyone. I'm not territorial about it. I just want to get this one off the ground. And it doesn't need to be clustered. It can be segmented in different parts of town. The feasibility studies will determine that. But I am elated that Tamisha has access to property because, again, this needs to be done with dollars churned within the Black community or Christian community, but kinship community. And we need to demonstrate we can do it without support by federal government dollars or municipal dollars. That's fine, but those dollars are not always assured. It's not always
and
assured.
so let me just go through it. It has a youth club, a company that has the Aaron Booth Public Archive and Meeting Center. It's got the Leap Auditorium and Film Club. It's got the Leap Fitness Club. It's got the a deli and takeout concession. It's got a books, magazine, and Wi-Fi cafeteria, a Stars Vision Center, a publishing and printing, retail outpost, tools kiosk, a racquetball, handball, horticulture project, and racket and basketball. So you're looking at a high-scale YMCA with a lot of capabilities for a community, including Wi-Fi and places that kids or the community can come and get married and look like everything.
Well, and it's also a place where the kids can be trained. This is right. This is a pure internship opportunity where our kids can learn those customer service skills, technology skills. So I'm very excited that the time is now and the money and the resources they are there within our community to do it. So
thank you, Ms. Kelly. So this is the first part. So when we look at the TNT Youth Community Foundation, why I love this is because I feel like because we have the resources here in this community, we can attract a cult audience to what we're doing, and then we can go somewhere and build. So not only do I have access to land, Liz's family has access to land. And so I feel like this is something that could be feasible. And Liz's actually land is sitting in Mississippi where there's water crises, but her family is all protected because they own wells. And so as the third generation from that, I think is our responsibility in looking at feasible ways that we can build this family. This land has been in my family for over 100 years. And my family makes money from cutting the trees off of it. And so I got to return home for Christmas and put this in my daddy's face. But he's not even the person to have to go through it. I would actually have to go through my aunt, and she saw us in DC and she just thought it was so amazing. She wrote to me like, oh my gosh, you are doing some amazing stuff, because the talent that I have is actually something that comes from that side of my family, where we've been preserving our history for years. We've got a family reunion that's over 30 years old. And so the resources within the family is all, my grandfather already, this is his vision. And so he did in his life work, he prepped it. He prepped it. His children kind of didn't get it, kind of fought over, kind of fought within each other. But coming right behind him, I kind of truly see what his life work was. And so when I saw this, I was like, okay, this is just one part of the plan, because it doesn't have the data center. It doesn't have the whole studios. So when I saw this with Ms. Kelly, I said, okay, this is, we could, because you can't bring a staff to Alabama and then not have anything for them to be able to engage with. Nobody would want to stay there. So we have to come and build and be able to have this type of planning done to even think it'd be feasible to put a headquarters there. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, Miss Pat, when she was like, you're like, you're my Joshua to me, Shannon Moses. I'm like, no, you're gonna get to the promised land with us. So that's her piece. And so from this point, I want to introduce Liz. So Liz is Green Space Cruise. Liz is an amazing,
Hi, Liz.
Amazing brain. And her daughter is in the program as a TMT apprentice. And so Liz and I was doing the agenda last night, and she came to me with this idea about career, business development, because we're getting a lot of businesses at the table. For some reason, people with businesses, they just, because they need marketing, you know, that I'm the first point, especially now because marketing has online store is cheaper than a brick and mortar store. And so I can get people into business by putting together their website. And so Liz, we started this year with a Friendsgiving. And so Liz came to me with a plan, and I said, oh, this is perfect because Miss Pam showed me her plan. I didn't know how to get there. With Liz, I'm gonna turn this over to her. Let's go back to the agenda.
Okay.
And so she's next to speak. I hope everybody on the call, are there any questions so far?
Oh, not at all.
Okay, so Green Space Cruise, and turn it over to Liz. And so Liz is gonna talk to us about the business development dates. I started to put them on there, but I had a lot of stuff to do yesterday. Everybody should have got emails that probably came in late Saturday night after we left that actually put the dates on their calendar. Those dates have not yet been confirmed with Raleigh Founded, but Liz is going to tell us more about business development.
Okay, for as far as the dates, we're trying to keep it consistent so that it's I think it's every other third Sunday of the month, starting from January the 15th, I believe it is, the first one. So we're trying to meet every other month. So
So not every other third Sunday, is that right?
every other third Sunday. So we're starting on the 15th of January. So then the next one would be March 19th. And then going forward. And I think we have 1 month where we're not meeting at all. For like June, July, we're not going to meet. We're going to take some time off for the summer and then come back on, I believe, in September.
So that's
September.
July and August because you're already skipping them. Okay.
All right, so basically this business development group, I don't know what we're gonna name it per se, but I know what the functionality of it is. It's an opportunity to exchange capital, knowledge, and services within the structure of TMT. And so giving the body or the membership an opportunity to learn how to structure their business, they have the opportunity to develop a mentorship relationship. So we're looking for more people to join that have experience with businesses, with business building. And we want to give people, people who are just starting out, information how to structure their business and how to fortify their business. And also to build capital. So the capital part of it is, and I'm thinking about the SUSU, which I know a lot of people have probably had different interactions with the SUSU, but the SUSU that I was introduced to was when I was younger. I met some Nigerian people, and they had a SUSU, and their SUSU was basic. It was like what you put in, you put it in, it builds interest, or it builds compound interest, and then you get it back after a certain amount of time. it's not what, I don't know what this new Susu stuff is, where you put in money and you get more than you put in, and you have to keep putting more people in, that is exponents. And it doesn't work if you don't have the math to back it up, and a lot of times you don't have math to back it up. But anyway, for a real Susu is just, you put in your money and you do it in a round robin kind of way. Where if let's say we decided for a year we were gonna collect a certain amount of money, and we can determine how that's collected. It can be collected through a percentage of dues, or if you do a service and you decide to do enterprise within the membership, we can collect that way. I mean, it's the structure is up to us to decide how we want to do it. But essentially, we're putting money into a pot. And then at the end of the year, or at the end of the term that we decide, then we choose someone to give the pot to. And everybody has the opportunity to get the pot. It's just, we have to build it. And it has to be something that you have to structure. And it does take commitment, and it takes a certain level of understanding, and trust. And trust. And building that kind of fellowship is, I think it's something that we have to remember how to do, because I think we know how to do it, we just haven't done it, and now it's something that we're reintroducing.
Can I help you out a little bit?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so, we kind of did it with the Friendsgiving this year. We came out, we had most of the members of the organization come out, and, it was just dinner. So it was dinner, it was at the other location. It was pretty much everybody who showed up for the film festival. And so what we were looking at doing, I think that, April and I had a conversation, I brought it back to Liz, and we were thinking about a price to get in. We're thinking about having a mentorship, speed dating. We're thinking about having workshops that were different each month, and those workshops ended up being.
I think the first one was how to structure a business, the business structure. Did I take a picture of that stuff? Because you were writing it down. Yeah, so the first one, developing your elevator pitch. If you're a business and you're looking for capital, you need to have an elevator pitch. You need to know how to say what you do in a fashion that's quick and to the point, where you can deliver that to pretty much anyone. Also business structuring your business so that.
You looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. And then wealth building would be capital building, how to build wealth within your business.
And how we're gonna invest the 75%, because we're gonna actually utilize the 5, 10, 10, 75 model in this particular
Membership.
So what we would do is whatever the price is, 75% when we save for the building, construction, 10%, because the TMT Youth Community Foundation fundraiser and Cruz came up with it. There will be a 10% split on her. 10%. I think we said, I was looking at 5, 5. So we said 5, 5, and then 10.
Yeah.
So this is actually 5, so then 15. This will be the Susu pot, this will be the building construction pot, and this will be the added value for the people participating. Marketing, and Kula was supposed to be here. She's another business that actually does marketing.
She does
apparel, banners, all that kind of stuff, things that you're gonna get next. So we would actually be teaching the businesses how to represent themselves and making sure that they look good, so that we can get them ready for events like women's empowerment. Those large events that as small businesses we're normally priced out of. So that would actually be the benefit, and that's why people actually give to this price tag right here, because of what they're getting here, here, and here. And then we would identify someone that has been present, got their business looking good, a great representation, and then they would get the pot.
Yeah.
This would go to what Mrs. Pam was talking about, being able to have our building fund. And then I think that because for Raleigh, we don't need the building. So we would identify who does. So we get, whether that's either buying land, going through what we have here, but I know I'm gonna need some studios. And I feel like the people at the table, this will show us how to set up franchises
Yeah.
for the model. Did y'all get that on the internet?
Yes,
Any questions?
no,
Okay.
Well,
No, not at this time. Yeah, it looks good. Again, in tandem with 510, 1075. The benefit is that you're keeping your expenses, the cost of production, whether, for your business, whether it's a service or product, at 75% or below, and that's gonna look good to creditors. It just makes it's very streamlined. So, whatever way you enjoy that. Mhm.
And the expenses, we already taken care of the expenses with the TNT Youth Community Foundation.
Mhm.
So we're gonna apply your model to building, and that's 75% for the building. Did you get that, Miss Pam? Did you miss that?
No, I didn't. And all of this right now is exploratory because there has to be a feasibility plan that determines the actual cost of the building. Because this is a we're collaborating with my organization, Perennial, and the resources that TMT has. Again, whatever those costs are, I'm just stating that some things are just kind of non-negotiable, that whatever you do in the business, the costs have to be under 75%. So that, so these conversations are going to be ongoing with
Well,
how it gets built, but we're sharing the same philosophy. We're on the same page.
I would like to do a committee for the business development team, or for the business, for what we're looking at with, the business development dates. And so I would like for you to be on that committee with Liz so that we can put some meat around this.
Oh, sure.
So that means you're on the board, Miss Pam.
You slid that in, didn't you? I said prayerfully, we'll talk about it. I don't want to take up your agenda right now, but yeah.
So we'll talk about it, but with a plan that big, how do you get there? And with TMT, we plan on spreading through chapters. So because Raleigh has we're standing in a resource right now, so there's no need for us to create this. We just have to bring people into something like this. But in those rural communities, they don't have anything like this. They don't have it. And so they're being left behind because there is no Wi-Fi. They're being left behind because they're meeting in the oldest slave, when we went to Moore County, they still meet in the slave church. It was kind of bad. It's kind of hard.
Well, I think
And
the
so-
challenge, yeah. Go ahead,
Think
sorry.
about it, but the resources, we got plenty of resources here. I would really like to see, where we're going to go, where we're gonna locate that. And this could help us get monies into a budget to start to feasibly look at some of those things. So I want to put that out there. This is something we'll be doing this year. We have the dates. We actually did it this year. We didn't charge to do it. I don't think we're gonna charge to do it. I don't think we're gonna charge yet until we can start to maybe get the numbers to a certain place. And you got the committee can determine that. But I want to throw this out there because these dates are on the calendar this year. And so how this works is however the committee comes up with it. And I want Liz to be able to come on the committee today. So I just want to roll through these things of what's coming through, and then we can discuss it at the end.
Okay.
April, any questions online?
No questions.
Mona, questions?
nope.
Okay,
No
That's-
further comments at this time. No.
April, you studying this, what questions do you have?
I'm just absorbing. I will ask my questions later.
Okay. All right, so that is building strategic plan, long-term planning. I want to talk about immediate needs, which is a short-term plan. where we see ourselves at the end of this year. And so the short-term plan, and what I did was, I don't have access to the PMO budget, the annual budget, the forecast. April, can you tell everybody what your role is and what you're doing?
Thank you.
Hold on 1 second, Tamisha.
Okay. September 29th. Be on vacation.
Sorry about that. Wanted to make sure you could hear me okay. So yes, I am April with an AIM. My business is credit analysis, financial coaching. The AIM initially stands for Advice in Minutes. As a company, we, on a personal basis, help clients with budgeting, and on a business basis, help clients with structuring their business, building business credit, etc. And we have a Debt Positive Academy with courses launching around that. Specifically for the TMT Youth Community Foundation, we are now taking on QuickBooks. And when I say taking on QuickBooks, that means with TMT, getting our nonprofit numbers back up and running. So we are in a position to know exactly where we stand financially, as well as we are in a position to qualify for additional funding, to qualify these grants for all of this federal money that's out here. And so that's what Tamisha and I are working through now, getting those books up and running. And then long term, we are going to have this as a option to offer to these additional clients that we're bringing in, helping them structure new businesses, and in line with that, making sure their books, they know how to run their books, or they can enlist us to keep those books up to date.
So thank you, April. April, we were blessed to be able to have two things happen this year. And one of those were, someone reached out to us through LinkedIn, gave April and I a quick training on chart of accounts, had us go through QuickBooks, which we had the software for quite some time, but we were not able to, I didn't know anything about how to set up a chart of accounts and move through it. And so now that we have that knowledge, we want to make sure that we have reports, because we got to report in order to qualify for federal monies. And then in addition to that, so that was one thing this year, we now have access to the software and the training through the accounting space. And on the legal space, we have been selected by Innovate Campbell Law School to be able to go through their law program to reorganize. We look like we're probably going to reorganize into a community development corporation. So that is why we are looking to be able to have these programs in support of being able to have several businesses, because we just went through this with Buy, Fix, Up, Rebuild a Block. And what investors are going to be looking at is they're going to be looking at about 10 to 12 businesses grossing about $250,000 each if you're talking about going into a building. So that's what they're looking at as far as who's going to occupy this building, how they're going to be able to pay rent as far as tenants in this building, membership of this building. So those are some of the things that investors are going to be looking at when we're looking at a location and going different places. So the PMO budget, that's our project management budget. Just to give you an idea, I did the numbers, and I don't have this in front of you guys. I did this during COVID. We're looking at about $250,000 budget. The low end of that is $524,000, not $250,000, $500,000 budget, $524,000 on the low end with a CEO, marketing, sales, customer service, IT, CPA, legal, grants, fundraisers, and human resources. High end, $667,000, broken down to those department heads to be able to make the company viable. The TMT Youth Community Foundation annual budget, we're looking at a budget of about $125,000 with an executive director, an assistant, 4 positions from the associate levels, phone, office, and employee benefits. We are looking at 4 areas: video production, learning management system, social media marketing, and events management. And as April and I get those numbers together, we'll be able to, the next time we come into a board meeting, give you those reports to see exactly where TNT is standing right now in those areas, so we can begin to forecast sales and get ready for investors as well as grants. We look to scale through organizing chapters. And so right now in this area, we're looking to be able to have a viable chapter as well as an affiliate here, so that we can set it up in other places as well. And so what we did was we looked at the possible places that we could actually hold a chapter, and we looked at the places that actually had a HBCU there. And so that's the kind of data that we're looking at right now in the short term space of it all. It's how you get it up and running, the numbers to what that looks like, and being able to scale that into different areas based upon the cost that it costs us here to be able to do that. One of the things that we want to do this year is get back into office space. We had one with our last partnership. And so in the next board meeting, when we go through the numbers, we'll tell you exactly what that looks like. Contracts. I'm gonna come back to the human resource piece of it. I want to come into Vice President Mona. Mona, you there? Mona. Okay, so I don't know what happened to Mona. Let me give you some idea of what Mona does. Mona is our fundraising chairperson. I ran back into Mona this year at a photo shoot. She was the first person I ever came across here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And we connected. Again, I'm always at the point of, should TNT be moving forward or should I just quit? And so she was just like, no, Tamisha, you need to move. You need to move on forward. And so she came into the organization as our fundraising chair, and she helped to pull off the Juneteenth event that we had this year at, again, this great resource. Raleigh found it at the Crabtree location. Muna was instrumental in raising awareness for the organization. She brought in a friend of hers, a band out of New York. We sold about, and let me give you the so when I say that each person will have a tool as well as understanding how to work that tool, just to give you an idea of what that looked like and how many people attended, and the money that we raised from that is, let me pull it up, hold on. So the jazz concert, we actually sold 168 tickets. The reason we were able to sell so many tickets is because Muna reached out to all her friends, and she single-handedly sold majority of those tickets herself. The organization, we paid the band. That was a national band. I think Muna's not here to give us those numbers, but the TNT Youth Community Foundation, in partnership with that, we brought home like maybe $600 from that event. After it was all said and done. That was just really with mainly one person working that event. And so what we want to do again this year is we want to come into doing the Juneteenth again this year. And we want to maybe come with the local artists so that so much money won't have to go to the band. And also come in with local talent as well, so that we can keep the stage full, maybe all day instead of the time frame that we had. I think Mordecai Beverage came in and they gave us a percentage of proceeds that day. I think that check was like maybe $125. So I think we did about a good close to $800 on that particular event. And then post that event, once the pictures hit the internet, then we end up getting a lot of strategic partners that came in behind that. And it really changed. It went from me writing checks into the organization. Since that time, I hadn't had to write a check into the Team for Youth Community Foundation. It began to start to be able to write his own checks and be able to cover his own expenses. And so this event actually really changed the profile of the organization, because it exposed it to 168 people who were not, who didn't know that we existed. And it set the precedent for us to be able to do this event each year. I even actually spoke to, so now that it raised our profile, we're now doing business with the city again. I'm not doing business as TMT or the TMT Youth Community Foundation, because we have to be able to reorganize from a legal perspective. I don't know how we got SBA money, but we did. And so it kept us afloat. We have the equipment now, but we've got to be able to see how we're going to move forward as an organization. And so now Tamisha Thomas is doing business with the city of Raleigh. And after meeting Paul and Elon, they actually want to do more business and to be able to grow the capacity of the organization so that we can get more kids. And so that's where we are right now. So this first quarter of this year is going to be very pivotal for us, because we got to reorganize. I think we need to reorganize as a community development corporation with all of this, with all of these developments, and to be able to strengthen the two events that we have, which is the Juneteenth event, as well as the film festival event that we have. Muna also suggested that we have, that we start a sustainer program that we kind of said something about during the film festival. And so I did go in and create that, a sustainer program that for some reason has stuck with people, and they're like, Tamisha, how do I give to your organization each month?
You're talking about what you were talking about when you said, like, if everyone gave $20 a month. That's what you
And so here's the sustainer programs, and something else that that Muna suggested that we have in the middle of Juneteenth. And so in the sustainer program, you're able to donate whatever you want to here, and then you can go from $5 a month, and it says that your snack sponsor at $5 a month, up into $1,000 a month. It actually says that you are an equipment sponsor. And so when we're looking at unrestricted funds, and the PMO does that, it looks at, with that budget of 500,000 to 600,000, how much of that we want in grants, how much of that we want in unrestricted funds as far as sustainer programs. It also looks at how much we're looking at as far as TMT Community Partners, which is what you are right now, where we're actually providing a service to organizations. And so this is the next thing, as the fundraising chair that Muna suggested that we do. So it's now up and running. So we now have, Muna is going to be over the Juneteenth event this year, and how we retain more of that $5,000 so that we can actually have a pretty good operating budget, as well as sustainer program. I think that I could work the mess out of this. This is just gonna be like, even the people that clean up the Raleigh Fountain, like, Tamisha, when you gonna let me be this? When I'm gonna get my link for the sustainer program? And they really, the reason I have not done that yet is because the newsletter has to be up and running as each month, or every 2 weeks, or once a month, or whatever it is that we decide. I will consistently have to start to make sure that we have a consistent communication to the people that are giving, so they can see what the children are doing as far as the cyber bears are concerned, as far as the project communications is concerned. And so that is what Muna has brought to the TMT Youth Community Foundation. This is what she did for DCLT, which is to raise money. She's very good at it. So we appreciate her, even though I think she's having some stomach issues, so she's probably somewhere in the house really not feeling good right now. But this is something that we'll be instituting and roll out the first quarter of next year. Okay.
Okay.
This is gonna be a Saturday event.
Well, no, this is the internet.
No, the Juneteenth celebration.
Yeah, probably a Saturday event. That's the third weekend in
The
June.
17th of June.
Yeah, I think it's already on the calendar. So I've got to go ahead and do the event. So that's where we are for Juneteenth.
It's either the 17th or the 18th. This is the first.
Because the 18th is a Sunday.
It's
It's the 17th.
it's the third weekend
In
of the
June.
month.
Oh, yeah, no, I know, because gospel concert's on the 16th.
Oh,
I
it's
already
not-
got my tickets.
Okay, okay.
So
Where
that's
is the
why-
gospel concert?
At the museum, same
Oh,
place it
okay.
was last time,
Yeah,
but it was on the same day last time.
last time. So, and so we actually,
This time it's gonna be the Clark Sisters.
the Clark Sisters. So we actually, and when working with the city, we came across the guy who was doing the, I think, Chavis.
Mhm,
No, he did the parade.
mhm.
And so, we were even thinking about, hey, let's get together, everybody's doing a Juneteenth event, let's get together and let's take this to the convention, conventions, the, what's the office that, visitors bureau?
You talking about convention center?
Not convention center.
No.
The visitors bureau.
The
The what?
visitors, bureau. The visitors
The
bureau.
So that we can attract other people from other markets here because we're having so many celebrations. So that's something that we kind of, maybe looking at, possibly this year, but I want to make sure that we going to this year, knowing what that event looks like. Because I think me, Mona and Liz came up with this event, pull this off in 6 weeks.
It was great.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I think we did a good job, considering that, that we just made it work. So this year we've got collective effort from everybody, on one accord. I think that it could be, 10 times better than what we did. And I think last year was pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
it shows it.
So that is where we are with that. We'll go back to the agenda. Any questions?
Tamisha, I do have a quick comment about the Juneteenth, because there is
ma'am.
now a Juneteenth, can you hear me? There's now a Juneteenth celebration also in Raleigh that is hosted by both St. Paul AME Church, of which I'm a member, and the the Historic Archives Office in Raleigh. So I think, just so you're aware of that there is yeah, I don't know if it's competing, but I mean, if it's on the same day, that's something to keep in mind. That
Okay.
the city,
I gotta say this because I honestly, ever since this Juneteenth has become a national, acknowledged holiday, it has become like this thing where people are now like, oh, we gotta do something for Juneteenth, and then it seems like it's not. Like, we've been doing this for decades. Like, I remember having Juneteenth on the 13th of June, 14th of June, the 15th of June. Any of those days are up for grabs. And now it seems like we're only focused on that weekend. But honestly, Juneteenth was celebrated throughout the United States on any day that is a team. That is a team day. So nobody's competing with anybody here. We need to recognize that and make sure we maintain that, because that's how we've been doing it throughout history before it became a national holiday. We don't have to compete with anyone. I think I don't even think it should be in our mind that we're competing.
Well, I think that's what we were talking about with the.
well, and I
with-
agree, April, and perhaps that was not the ideal word, but just to say that there is another event on that day. People can attend both events, and I think that's good.
There were tons of events. There were events on Saturday and there was events on Sunday. There were events in Durham, all throughout the city. There were several events. And I honestly think that there should be several all throughout the city.
And I think that.
Well, and
we could probably
ideally,
do-
every event should promote every event, should be supportive of every event. I'm simply saying that there
That's
is
what I
another.
was thinking.
And sometimes they do that. The only reason I always mention that is because I do lots of event planning in my jobs. And when you want people to attend your event, if you have the opportunity to consider the calendar, that's not a bad thing. So I never think
That's my
about
point.
I'm always like, ours is gonna be the best. If you miss it, you miss it. But being reasonable and understanding, like, I work for the school system. So when one thing gets promoted at the school system, that's the thing that the children and the parents flock to. Like, there are tons of book bag events, but there's only one or two that are super well attended. So I'm just, in my head, I'm just like, okay, well, who do you definitely want to steer toward? Like you said, they're gonna sustain and they're gonna do more than just attend and pick up your free stuff.
Well, I really want the Juneteenth event to be an event that we actually start to leverage the hotels and get kickback from the hotels and be able to have people come into this market, because we have the power of video. And so as we be able to move with this power of video this year with the opening of the door with the documentary, I think that what we're gonna do is we're gonna have power. We're gonna actually pull people from different markets and be able to get kickbacks once we begin to operate as a travel agent within the hotels, get that travel agent money, and that money is truncated to TMT. So this year, they actually, one of the vendor who actually did the food at the stage wanted to be able to do a car show with it for next year. And so that's really what I'm seeing is saying, and then saying, hey, okay, y'all don't have to stay here the whole time. Here's a map. This is Underground Railroad. This Juneteenth celebration is happening everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So,
Do you remember Second Saturdays that the food corridor used to do?
yep.
They had a whole corridor where they had little events, little pop-up things that happened throughout the weekend or throughout the week, that day. So people could go from one event
To the next. And I think that that's what we have to be
That's what
able
I
to
think,
do.
yeah.
Is to be able to, because I think when we do that, we'll get more of a pull, and then we have more of a pull as the collective, because I'm thinking in terms of a collective, and that's why we have you here, is
Yeah.
because that's what you want to do with your organization. I feel like we're going to be the backbone, so we're going to need someone to be able to help with the collective. And so I think that runs right in line with what you're doing with your business and where
You
you're
want to be
going.
able to like article, there are several examples of
Mhm.
events where, and I love events, I go to events all the time.
Mhm.
All the time, that have that type of thing, but then you look at your timing and all of those things, and then you have to look at providing those things for different age groups.
Right.
Not that it's not hard to do, but it is a true event plan.
Yeah.
And what I think that, what I'm looking at, what I heard when I got with I forgot his name, I met him at the city, who's doing the Black History Juneteenth parade. He was just like, yeah, we can have Juneteenth all month. So it was his enthusiasm that I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, this could be something, because Raleigh has the history of people coming in from Virginia, coming in from
And all the smaller areas.
and all smaller areas. So because we're the capital. So I think that as organizations, we can capitalize off of that once we get with the hotels. And so when I'm saying build a cult audience and then put the building somewhere else, this is a great place to make it the cash cow, where our expenses can be very low, because we have a Raleigh founded that costing us $120 a month or to $180 a month.
Do you have any connections within the Chamber of Commerce, Raleigh?
No, but that's something we can go after. So, and so we'll look, once we April get together and get the books together, and we'll start to see how the money is flowing, and how it's coming in as far as the community partners, what is coming in with the members, how it's coming in with the city. We'll be able to make forecasts, predict, and drive numbers. So that's the next thing that we're looking to do, because I used to bring these numbers about the sky. Now we can actually look at the numbers. Okay.
Tanisha, Tanisha,
Yes. No,
I'm
you
sorry.
missed your presentation.
I heard you. I was on, anyway, but what I was gonna say,
Okay.
one of the things I want the board members to really think about, and I think it's a thing that we often miss, is that investment piece in ourselves. So as everybody sitting around that table should have in mind, I'm gonna bring 10 more people to TMT by the end of next year. Whether they're given $5, and that's the thing, you have to help people understand, if you don't invest in yourself, like Ms. Pam said, then what is there? And what we have to understand is we manage to give we figure out how to give our money to everything else other than ourselves.
And
we
that's
have
why I
to
love Moon, I'm gonna say that because I didn't have the fortitude to implement that until Mona
Yeah.
came along, because I had a lot of people at my table like, she young and she don't know what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, Liz saw that happen. She's like, I'm helping you because you got people at your table talking about you real bad. And so now I'm not as young anymore. I'm a little older. I got some gray hair. And so Muna, because you said that, now everybody in this room, except for the people that have not gone through orientation, is at least contributing $20 a month.
Right.
So, that contribute, and Ms. Hunter's here, she has taken the, except for Ms. Hunter, she's got the apprenticeship program because Paul is in it, so she's got a commitment of $100 a month, and then for her business, $75 a month. So
Right.
she's actually doing $175 a month and getting a huge return, out of it. And so that's what well, I can't tell them that, you tell them, Ms. Hunter, what you getting out of it, you tell them what
Oh,
you're getting out of it. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I've gotten my businesses, boom, I mean, I've got a lot of bacon to do this week. I actually told them, the 23rd, I'm done, y'all. So, I'm really excited, I'm just really excited because, Tamisha gave me a whole new vision of what to do, because I knew I could cook, I know I can bake, you know what I'm saying? But to get it out there, now I'm actually bringing, Tamisha, I gotta show you my jackets, honey.
You got
With the
it.
purple monogram on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we
I just
went
picked
through,
them up.
tell them about your process, how do we do that?
I mean, it was kind of everything, I'm a spiritual leader, so, everything's kind of spiritual for me. And it's just like out of nowhere, she came back to my mind, and I've known her, 20 years since my baby, who's in her class now, he's 22. I've known her since he was 3 or 4. And she just came to me. I said, let me see what she's doing. And then I said, because I need help, because I was trying to, I was thinking of it. I don't know, I'm not that techy. And so I got in touch with her, and she, told me about the, apprenticeship at home, which is exactly what our church needed. Because, I write plays and movies and stuff like that, and we really wanted to get it really good. So he got in it. And then I found out that what she could do for my business. And sure as you're born, we were ready by the time November and December came, and it's been profitable.
And so I want everybody to see, so she's got the website, so I made website affordable.
Yeah.
And so she's got a package that's $75 a month. And so what I do is I meet with those customers usually once a month. Miss Hunter's like, Tanisha, what you doing? So if I'm not busy, she'll get me 2-3 times, a month. But we were able to start her process, and I just kind of want to show everybody kind of what it looks like. We're not finished with her site, but she was like, I sure wish I could get something up for Christmas. I mean, for Thanksgiving. I said, okay, well, let me just go ahead and make this happen for you. And so I think we were just juggled some things around, and hold on, I want to show everybody what it looks like.
It's up and running, right?
It's not all the way up,
Okay.
but it can take you can get to it, and you can place orders.
And word about
the link in the chat.
too, man.
Okay, so yeah, I'll put the link in the chat. I'm trying to drop it to myself.
Wow.
It might not drop because okay, let me stop share. And then let's drop.
Is it 2 different Aprils?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was looking at it. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I changed it, because it had a different name, Sean, so I changed it.
Misha, while you're doing that, if I may put my contact information.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
If everybody can put their information in the chat, that'll be really good.
What information do you want in the chat?
Email, phone
I'm
numbers.
putting my website. And that should be it. Yeah.
So we still don't have a phone tree.
I don't think so. It's all in or it's in MailChimp. So it's all in MailChimp, but no, I've never done a phone tree.
I mean, well,
Just like a-
contact list.
Oh,
I should have said contact list. That's school term. Contact list. And we do, I mean, and depending on like when you're having an event, you might want a phone tree. If stuff were to change or a reminder or something,
You assign a person to another person and then that person is assigned to something else.
or you do now, that's before all of these apps, or you do remind or something.
Yeah.
Because everybody doesn't check their email in the same way. But remind, like we do,
I do have in mind.
Remind is good, and we also did, oh shoot, I can't remember when I set up, whatever that was. But I like Remind too, if you can set for the notification, at least if you know you're having an event, then that's that week you need to be on Remind because
There's so many different.
Okay, so,
I like Remind.
and so that's Miss Fran. So she actually took the pictures when we were at, the last event.
At the-
And I was actually supposed to do the, board
is
meeting.
it the film festival?
That was at the film festival. So we actually,
Yeah.
so when we actually do these events, we will be doing, sometimes a time for me to work with my, the community partners to get certain things. So not only are we setting up to do a film festival, we were also making a photo shoot for My Friends Dainties, and no one knew that that's what we were also doing as well. So when we're so this year with the business development piece that Green Space Cruise is bringing to the table with Miss Kelly could possibly benefit what we're doing with the building fund. This will be more opportunities for us to create experiences like this for the members of the organization and for us to bring back assets and an opportunity for those members to grow their business. So it's business development, it's marketing, and I just got my insurance license, so I'll pull that out of the last 6 months as well. And we'll be getting my securities license in the top of the year, so that because when we're talking about business development, Liz is going after her real estate license, and either she'll get the development license or I'll get it. So when I go home, can't nobody tell me just nay. Don't tell me just nay. And we'll be able to also make money off of those transactions from the back. Oh, and Miss Francis also got her insurance through me as well.
I got my insurance, I'm on legal.
So,
That opens door, it's crazy, and it just.
open the door.
opens doors.
And that's the goal for us to be able to put the things in place for businesses. And so when we look at this business development, Ms. Hunter is a prime example of what that looks like as far as having about 50, 60, 70, 80 more of her, and then being able to go and duplicate this through our learning management system in other areas. So just so that you guys know, the learning management system that April and I will bring you back these numbers. What that looks like is that we've got Durham Community Land Trustees that came in as they were doing videos. Now they're paying me, I think $5,000 to be able to put a learning management system together for their social media piece. So that is kind of what, and then once I put that together, it will become a course. That course is going to cost $200 and some odd for the next group of people. And it tells you everything that you need to be able to do social media marketing for yourself. So once you create the website, then you can actually buy the course for $279 and you can be able to be self-guided, and it doesn't take my time to be able to walk you through that.
So you build a capacity.
Yes.
So teaching them how to use it, getting paid, but they also can sustain.
Right. Right. And so that's where we are as an organization, because now we have so many ways to generate income. It just makes sense for us to keep going and to be able to put more people at the table to be able to benefit from what it is that we're doing. Okay. So what time is it? Ms. Hunter put on her coat? We're close to 4 o'clock. Okay.
Now,
Okay.
you know, I'm hoping they got my pockets, that's been on my mind.
You want to go check it? You go check it.
Cause it's way down, it's down the street, it's at, what is that?
Are there any questions, anybody thus far?
And I want to
Cause I'm gonna starve it.
I'm gonna need some food.
Okay, you said you need some food. I got more orders than your pound cake, that's my specialty.
It don't matter, whatever it is. I need two or what, I ate everything that was there. Whatever it is.
Oh, you did?
And I don't eat a lot of food.
I'm gonna give you my card. I got.
Yeah, I already lost it.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
everything that
Yeah.
was there, I like.
I got, and then I developed another one, but I
And-
know that was eggnog. I did
And then
eggnog.
Jasmine left for a thing. Okay, so let me get back to
Where is that?
I.
It was on the scene here.
Okay, so hold on. Let me get back. I'm coming, y'all. We're a little off task here in the room.
We had a moment.
Okay, we did, okay, so hold up, so the calendar, okay, so that just kind of gives you guys an idea of board positions, who's got what position. We've got programs and calendar, so TMT project communication, we've got 2 apprentices right now. We're like gonna have 2 mentees next quarter. Paul and Elon with the Shaw University recruited 2 people. They called me already. I've got to be able to schedule them for interviews. Paul and Elon will interview them. The TMT calendar, there's an algorithm conference. I just got off the phone yesterday with someone who called me who wants the students to be involved in a funkadelic documentary. So we're putting together what first quarter is going to look like for the apprentices as well as the TMT mentees. The mentees are also be working with the Cyber Bears to be able to, there is a big problem within the African-American community and this industry that we're working with these kids in robotics. So in working with the Cyber Bears right now, I'm looking at about 3 organized groups that came out of this grant that we're currently working. And those organizations are saying how it's hard to recruit from the African-American community because in our community, we see sports as a more viable place to be able to invest our kids. And so we're looking to work with those 3 organizations so that during competition season this year, we can start to create that 3rd documentary that we're going to release for OTT to be able to tell the story of our Cyber Bears, as well as what these other African-American teams are going through as well. And so Paul and Elon came out to the Cyber Bears interest meeting and started that process of recording. And so that's where we are with the TMT Project Communications. TMT Project Communications probably look like we're going to go off into a conference this year, maybe April, and work with the Funkadelics, include that inside of the documentary and possibly come out with another documentary. We'll be working with HATI, another first robotics competition team with Renee Daughtry. And so we're in the process of working that out. Hopefully we can get that worked out within the first 2 weeks because they're looking at having a concert at HATI like the last weekend in February.
How many members can you, I mean, how
Are you
many
talking about
kids can
the
you
place in
have?
Durham?
How many kids can okay, hold on. Yes, HATI and Durham.
Yeah, I've been there.
Uh-huh. And how many kids can I have where?
How many kids can you have on your team?
For the for which for
For
the
the Cyber Bears?
Oh, you can, there's no
limit.
set number.
Because we're funded for the next, we got $18,000 with the Cyber Bears right
Remember
now.
that group, Black Girls Can Code?
Uh-huh.
That might be a good place to look for people.
Betty Murchison, huh? Okay, so I'll reach out to her. Yeah.
The world is so.
Which
small.
Betty? There's 2
The
Betty.
one
The
that.
one that short hair with
The
the
one that she used to have something in. Wake
WB Du
Forest.
Bois.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that and so, yeah,
Yeah.
she does.
Yeah.
Cyber Bears, you want to give us a Cyber Bear support?
Oh,
you
you
just
did
said
you
that.
just came from one.
I mean, no, I just said interest meeting, just kind of let us know kind of where we are with the Cyber Bears. Competition,
you-
calendar,
oh,
get the
oh.
calendar.
Oh, okay, yes. So we have been super excited about being sponsored by Snyder Electric. We have a mentor that it's his first time too, so that's kind of exciting for him as well. And their company paid $6,000 for our registration fees. So we're good for competition and all of the other things that we'll need. The young people have a plan that we need to launch our next week's Christmas week.
It's Tuesday. Well, we're supposed to be on a, only Tristan called me back, but I'll see.
Somewhere along the lines of all the young people having a break next week, we're gonna have to corral them into some sort of meeting so that they can talk about how to leverage their social media presence to recruit other Cyber Bears.
What age group?
We said it's high school, but
We'll
we
take
are
them
in
younger.
agreement that 7th and 8th grade is a great place to start.
It
So we
really
already
is.
have them filtered.
Yeah.
Because once you start with high school, now you're talking about young people who work.
Yeah.
So it is, my child's only 14 and he works already. So it's important that we start with middle school. So we're already building up that interest and understanding of what to expect. During the interest meeting, it was more like a practice for the young people to be prepared to present to other groups and community groups to help with recruitment. There was an agreement with Paul and Elon that they are going to help the young people come up with some sort of Instagram and some different videos that can be shared on the platforms that young people use the most.
And merchandising too, so we're gonna do some.
And
merchandising.
also the merchandising and the opportunities to be in the virtual world, just lots of things, as you all know, working with Tamisha, it makes your head spin. But for the parent piece, just also looking at our core parents and keeping the momentum up with them. And we're a pretty cohesive group of core parents. And we're super excited about the TMT helping sponsor and propel the Cyber Bears into more arenas and opportunities. How was that?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
There's so much you can do with the Cyber Bears, because there's, I mean, that's so
So the catch is,
like, you can do so much branding. so
yes, you
much,
can.
Mo-
Yeah, and I get
metaverse,
that.
Yeah,
Like,
But
everything.
the catch is because we are not attached to a school. So where there's always the opportunities, there's always the challenges. So the biggest challenge for the Cyber Bears is the fact that we are not school affiliated. So when you're school affiliated, you have thousands of kids you can.
And salaries, and the
Instead of
salaries
being
and the places.
affiliated To a school, be affiliated to a
Well, work-
business.
Right, or a
You could
community
be the-
center.
You could be the Red Hat Cyber Bears, or you could be the Citrus
Yeah.
Right,
Cyber Bears.
Right,
or-
and the sponsorship isn't the challenge as much as it is getting the children.
Oh.
For now.
Well, I
for
mean,
now.
well, we got a lot of challenges. We have, first of all, those people are paid.
Yeah.
Those people are paid. So we're not paid. So that's one thing.
Right.
They have a place to house that stuff. We're gonna have, look up, we're gonna have 10 robots soon. Where we're gonna put them?
Cause
you
you
know
get a
what I'm
different robot, a
Every
different
year.
robot every year.
And so we've got a lot of challenges. And so the Cyber is gonna need a lot of money. And so that's one of the reasons that I want to be able to go ahead and prepare for that, because it's also something that can be grant funded. And so we're looking at, with TMT, Youth Community Foundation, always looked at unrestricted funds. With this is gonna be grant money, restricted funds, and it's gonna be salary so that we can put somebody on payroll to be able to run this, because this takes a lot of time.
You could get
A lot.
funding from Miso Robotics, so they are just, they're an emerging business. They just went public.
Okay, so then
So
that's why we have you at this table. So we want to be able to look at that. And we got about 15 minutes. Ms. Hunter got her coat on, so I want
And
to
I'm
be able
driving
to.
her car.
I'm just worried about my car. That's all.
Okay, okay.
Be gone.
I want to be able to,
Did they give you, where I don't go,
quarterly board meetings. So we did events, Juneteenth. I want to be able to put people in committees, and I want to be able to do quarterly board meetings and at least come up with a quarterly board meeting schedule before we leave. So that was a lot of information. Some information we have to digest, and then I want to put committees together, and then those committees decide when they are going to meet. Because I want to be able to do the business. I need some help in doing the business.
What is the expectation for quarterly would be? I mean, I
Once
know what
a-
it means, but like,
4 times a year.
okay.
So
And-
4
and this-
times a month.
Is this one, or is this the
This
which
is the
one does this
board.
count? This is the first one?
This is
Or the
this is
last
one
one for
for
the
this,
quarter.
this year.
Okay.
So this will be next year, this will be the 4th meeting.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so and then Sunday, I feel like Sunday is a way that is a day that's usually reserved for rest. I understand that. But I think it's also a good day to just kind of get in here and for once a quarter, come in here and see what has to be done. So can this would be the 3rd Sunday of the month? Can we look at maybe the 3rd Sunday 4 times next year, when that would consist of?
well, it would have to be cat corner to the one that we're doing for the business.
You want to do it after the business? You want to do it after?
We can, it's possible to do it on the same day, or you can follow the,
Is that a Sunday?
seasons, yeah.
That's a Sunday? Okay, well then, okay, so you want to do it after the board meeting? After we do that and then have a board meeting? Is that too much?
Or do it before.
Or do it the month before? Because I think that might be too overwhelming, people, too much. You come for a Friendsgiving, you do that, and then you come in for a board meeting, that might be too much. What you think?
It depends on how much is on each agenda.
I
I mean, because.
we're
you have-
gonna keep the same agenda for the full board meeting, so.
Well, I
probably
mean, you have a captured audience and it's during the house. If both of the agendas are a little more streamlined than they were today, or at least the presentations have, some sort of time limits, I'd be willing to do them both. you know, at the same time, where I'm happy to do that, as long as there's some
Okay.
snacks.
Okay, some snacks, okay.
I do anything for snacks, but I'm just saying it's a lot of information. Either you want minutes taken during the meeting, like I took minutes because I got to, because
Okay,
I just have to.
okay,
But, you know, something, so it's like, okay, we closed this part of business, now we're gonna open this. I can do 2 meetings
okay,
with a little snack.
okay, well, this will probably have food. We
Well,
usually do
what I
food.
mean is, whatever that is, if it's one day, I'm happy to do.
Do that,
them both.
okay, so if we look at the calendar for those days, are you guys hearing that here online, people? We close,
What month is that, April?
I think the next one would be March, right?
March, you said March,
so we look, hold on, let's look at it,
March 19th.
March 19th,
That was the date you gave.
Yeah,
hold on, okay, so it's March, okay, so March 19th?
yeah, that could be the next board meeting.
You just said you had to check with the founder place, right, for the location.
Well, I'll put them in for next week. We'll probably be able to get them. If I have to change them, I'll send out an email. But for right now,
So
we'll just-
tentatively March 19th
March 19th
at a Raleigh founder location.
at a Raleigh Fountain location. And I know, 9 times out of 10, if we're gonna do the Raleigh Fountain, we're gonna do Crabtree. If-
all kinds of parking, you know.
Yeah, I just like this for board meetings so that I can think strategically. This is a different place for thinking. It really
Well, and
is.
it is different.
Yeah, it's that over there, you know, is just, I just don't get the same feeling when I'm over here. than
It's
I'm
more
over there.
open.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other places are more open.
It's-
Okay,
Wait,
yes, somebody online?
Yep, this is April. I won't be able to do March 19th. I am gonna be out the country.
Okay, oh, where you going?
Yeah.
Carousel. Yes,
girl.
the Caribbean.
Go ahead, do that.
Yes.
We ain't gonna hate, we just gonna conduct business and I'll give them the report by then. We should probably have it finished by then. But everybody knows you, so that's just what we're
Yeah,
trying to do is get people no, we have a March 19th is a robotics competition.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, March 19th is robotics competition. And yep, so that March 19th is
Not
Yeah.
a good date.
Wait, March
No.
19th is a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
Robotics competition goes to Sunday.
I don't know.
Is it out of town?
It's here, it's local. Yep,
That one in Clayton.
that's it's Roseville. So you wanna go a little higher, you wanna go,
Well, I still think, because we're still having,
you still gonna do it?
yeah.
Okay,
Cause it's just,
how you gonna get in the building?
I don't know, we have to figure that out. Did you talk to JP?
I have it.
We need to talk to.
Okay, we'll have to do that. Okay. So you still gonna do it? Okay, all right. So when do you want to do the board meeting though?
The board meeting, we can do,
You want to do it the weekend? You want to do
let's see what we can do it that weekend before, because it's quarterly, so either you do your first meeting in January, and then you do it every 3
Well, I
months.
think we feel like we need I feel like we need another January meeting. I feel like we need another meeting to wrap this up.
Can y'all pick the meeting date? I think
Yeah,
you ready? Ms.
Yeah,
Sonia?
yeah,
Okay.
we can pick it and we'll do a doodle. Let's just do.
you want to do a doodle?
Yeah.
That's just something else to do. Let's go ahead and get this done while we're here.
Should do the 15th
The 15th of January?
or the 21st.
Okay, 25th and 15th of January is good. Okay, so yep, because we have the business development there. Okay,
Mhm.
so board meeting. So board meeting is before or after?
Before.
Before?
I'd say before.
Okay, so you want to say 12?
One.
What date is that on? What
You-
day is it on?
That's
1
on
o'clock?
Sunday.
It's on a Sunday?
We're gonna wrap up business in an hour. Y'all be 30 minutes late. Nuh-uh, y'all be 30 minutes late. No.
After what?
You know, I got a check on Sunday.
Yeah, church on Sunday. Okay, after.
Too late?
No, okay, so parking won't be an issue over the
Yeah.
other place.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, also it's Crabtree.
we're gonna do Crabtree.
Yes.
It's a challenge today.
We'll just put on the calendar like we did last time and just send it over.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna take the.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Were there any questions on where we are as a team and who has what?
Next thing, we're just gonna tell us what.
No, I've got to have a meeting with you so that you can know your tool and know exactly what you're gonna do and how you're gonna engage the program. Because you're going grade, yeah, huh, for the K, because everybody else knows their tool. And then April, I gotta have a meeting with you so that we can sit down and talk about cyber bears and we can sit down and talk about grants.
Okay, but I'm not ready.
No, no, I want to, and collaboration. I want to sit down and have a, yeah. So I would just want to sit down and see, because before I start to say, let's do this, I want to see what you want to do, what your organization does, so we can put you in the right place.
Okay, we getting there.
Okay,
We're not there yet, that's my next thing.
Okay.
I got sick, so.
any other questions?
You know, if I haven't.
You have any, well, we got, yeah, I know you will. I know you will. I know you will. I know you.
I've been sick, but now I'll be out.
Okay, all right, bye. Bye, Ms. Leopard. Okay, y'all good online? April?
Yep.
April, so what I'll do.
I'll
is
look out for the invites.
Okay, and I got all next week. So I will come in, I will get in there and I will get in there and bang some of that stuff out. So that we can, we can get that. And then I also want to talk to you about the classes, because what I can do is put the classes together, and I want to go ahead and schedule you to come in I want to put you on the schedule for the programs to come in with the youth, so we can go ahead and start creating these QuickBook classes.
Yeah, I need to take that class.
Yep, we'll definitely talk about what that needs to look, and yeah, that sounds good. I got a good majority of those books down. I think they're around like 900 now, but I know these remaining ones are the ones I'm gonna need. We're gonna have to do some more digging for. So that's why I was like, let's just go ahead and buckle down, get it done together.
Okay, so if you want to, we can do some time tomorrow. I sent you my, did I send you my calendar? Just click something on the calendar and we'll get together. So I can
Yeah,
get
send it to me.
Okay,
Yeah,
Thank
it'll
you,
be
ma'am.
Monday or Tuesday. I just need to look at my stuff and make sure. Yep,
okay. Well, thank you, ma'am.
later.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Is that everybody?
That's Muna.
Yes,
How
Yes.
you feel? You
a
good?
little better. Yeah, I'm still in bed. I have to get up though, because I have a hair client coming.
Okay. Well, I hope
Yeah.
you feel better.
Thank you. I just have to probably take some po chai or something. The solstice is coming, so I'll be doing some fasting this week.
You've been talking about your stomach for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I took something the other day, but today I started feeling bad, so I'm just gonna rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you wrapped up, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
Thank you all, and like I said, I'll start working on this stuff for the with the fundraising piece, because
All
I'm
right.
I'm trying to identify people that we can invite to be a part of it.
Okay. Well, next
Okay.
time you have a report and you tell us what we
All right.
need.
All right,
All right. All right.
thanks. Bye-bye.
Mhm. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Is that everybody?